See? Wasn't even connected. I guess that's step one. You got to make sure that the Foresight is connected. Hey everyone, got a fun one today. Not sure if you have seen it yet. We just released a What's in the Bag for Tour Validated. And today, as we prep for the upcoming tournament, I think we are 29 days away from my first tournament in over 3 years. So getting prepped for something like that requires a little bit of homework. Today we're gonna do a little bit of something called a gapping session. So for those who don't know, a gapping session is, we're gonna go through, we're gonna hit all my clubs, we're gonna find out exactly how far each club carries, as well as total, but I'm more focused on the carry. That's gonna be, I think, a more consistent number to go off. So we're going to a little secret spot, Cactus Hat Country Club. Can't disclose the location, but it is a well-equipped location to get everything done you need to. So let's go. So here we are, Cactus Hat Country Club. As you can see, there have been some shots that hit the ceiling, which was the purpose for that sign there, but all it took was one popped up driver by an unnamed person. We've got 2 pieces, but I think it fits the vibe. But here's the lab, plenty of room to get stuff done. A lot of cool things to look at. Take a look at this beauty. One of my favorite riders' bikes of all time. I mean, I go way back to loving this guy. Obviously has some new graphics now for the new owner, but shout out to Jeremy Twitch Stenberg. Big golfer, badass on dirt bikes. Okay, so first things first, gotta lace up. Put on some golf shoes that you'd wear while playing. Just the little things like this will make a big difference, I think, in making sure the numbers that you get are right. You wanna make sure that how far you are from the ground is gonna stay consistent. So I've started to care less about the shoes and how they match outfits and all that stuff, and more about the shoe that's gonna perform best for me as I've started to, you know, consider playing more tournament golf. I think every little variable you can control will make a big difference. So things like this, I think, make a difference. At least mentally they have for me. Just feels like I'm doing everything I can to play the best golf possible. So we're gonna hop on Foresight. So I'm gonna show you how to do this right now. Okay, so you go to the improve section, know your numbers. That's where you wanna be. Know your numbers. I wanna find my numbers today. Select the clubs that you want to test. Driver, 3 wood, 3 hybrid, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pitch, gap, sand, lob. 13 clubs today we're testing. We're gonna go from shortest to longest. Start test. First time doing this, so we're starting with the lob wedge. For me, the lob wedge is this beauty here, 62. Again, make sure you check out the What's in the Bag we just did for Tour Validated. We kind of talked through why we play each of these clubs, but I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them during this. This is more focused on getting to know the numbers. So it's game time. I'm going to set this up and let's go. First things first, we need to warm up a little bit before we get into the gapping session. Make sure the body's loose so that these first few swings you make with the shorter clubs during the session aren't skewed because the body isn't moving. So definitely want to respect that kind of time frame. You don't want to get too beat up in the practice sessions that when you get to the gapping portion, you're tired and fatigued. So I start with warm-ups on the course. Any type of round, I always start with a 56-degree wedge. It's not the most high-lofted club in the bag for me. However, it is one that I feel like it's a nice mix between that full swing and also, you know, you're finding the bottom of your swing. So another small little detail to keep in mind, use the ball that you play with. That's gonna give you the most accurate data, spin data, launch data, all that stuff. So all that's going into consideration as you're gonna start playing your best golf. For me, it's gonna be getting into tournament golf again. So TB5 is what I play. I played it for some time, so I know that. I'm gonna make sure I stick to it when I'm hitting balls on this. So these first few don't matter too much, but we'll just get the body moving. Again, 56 degree. And these first few swings, I'm really not focused on where the ball goes. I'm very focused on just loosening up the body and kind of feeling how the body feels that day. Not something I can say that I've always done, although that would be nice. I should have saved that one for the course. In the past, I'd probably stress a little when the body's feeling a little off. Maybe the ball's doing something different than what I'm used to. As I've gotten a little bit older, a little bit more mature, I know that a range session or a warm-up is just a warm-up. Doesn't influence what you're gonna do on the course. So keep that in mind. This is gonna be an important day to kind of understand what it is each club does, because I have an idea, and it's bad to say, but I don't truly know how far each club goes. But after today, we're gonna know. So I think something to remember during this process too is it's gonna give me the averages for the good and the bad. Obviously you have some decision making, you don't want a crazy outlier in there, but you do want some that aren't perfect. You don't need perfect shots the entire time, because we all know on the golf course they're not all perfect golf shots. So you gotta keep that in mind. Try and swing as you would on a golf course. So I'm not gonna swing out of my shoes just to see how far I can hit it in here. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go through the bag. Looks like we're starting with lob wedge. As I progress, I'll start putting clubs I've used over here on this little golf ball holder, but I guess this is just full swings. So that's what we'll do. I don't know if dispersion is the focus here, if it's just getting your numbers. So I don't hit this club full too much, but for the purpose of this test, we will. This is more that trouble club around the greens, short-sided. Great. Okay, let's keep it ripping. Weird to swing this thing full. I guess it is nice to know. Keep hitting if you want some better shots or quick select shots, satisfied. Let's do those three. One so-so, two good ones, select shots. Boom, boom, boom. Go to next club. Sandwich. Okay, sweet. This here is bulky SM8, 56 degree. And we'll get into this. So again, I think this goes about 112. But, I mean, this is going to let me know for sure what everything goes. Bang, bang, bang. Unless we have a crazy outlier, I'm just going to continue to hit 112, 112, 114. Pretty good guess. Next club, gap wedge. 50 degree. SM8. Again, if you haven't seen the what's in the bag that we just did for Tour Validated, check that out. We talk about what's in our bags. Today it's about the distances. So hold that a little bit. So we have to be conscious of the pulls here. Focused on carry numbers for the most part. I'm gonna hit a few more. There's a couple outliers in there. I'm gonna be honest, the old man back is firing up right now. Don't skateboard and ride dirt bikes. Don't ride those things. It's not if but when you're gonna hurt yourself. My back has paid for it. On to pitching wedge. Now keep in mind, I play clubs. I play the newer TC201s. I play them for a reason. Very consistent, front to back dispersion, great feel. There are clubs that I've tested that go further, but golf is really important to know how far the ball is going, hence why I'm doing something like this. So the body is fatigued. Not good. I'm gonna need to really work on cardio. I think this series will include not only golf, but fitness, stretching, all that fun stuff. So yeah, on to 9-iron. I highly recommend doing something like this. You need to know how far. It's not worth guessing, especially if you're trying to play your best golf. Just because you've hit a 7-iron 190 yards doesn't mean you hit it 190. Does that make sense? I don't know if anyone else is like me. I, for some reason, hit the evens a lot better. Is that just mental? 8, 6, 4-iron, love those clubs. We had to take a brief intermission there. The old man back is acting up, but we're gonna power through. And I'm sweating, by the way. Even though this has AC in here, this is a lot of work. The 6-iron, one of my favorite clubs in the bag, if not my favorite. This is the area of the bag where I really don't know. I assume these go like, what, 210 for a 5-iron, but I don't even know. Is it 200? Is it 206? Like, you start playing tournament golf on a high level, or even just trying to get better at golf, you realistically should know every carry number within a few yards, so I'll be writing whatever this is down after this process. Also, tempo helps. Finally swung with good tempo. Try and keep this same tempo going on these last few. Easy to try and kill this stuff. It's fun to see how far it goes, but really does you no good to try and do that in the simulator if you're trying to get numbers. Push drop, I used to play that in college. Onto the head covers. I do a lot of fun stuff with this one here. This one around the greens, I use it a lot. Obviously has a lot of work. Some scratches, some love, but it's been in the bag for some time for a reason. I've tried to fit driving iron in there. If you haven't seen that video, we'll put that in here as well. You can take a look. Just as hard to beat, so. Crazy how straight I hit this thing for the most part. That's gonna land on the ball. 246, 247, 247. Callaway Rogue ST Ventus Black 8X. Very good setup. Been loving this. One of the reasons I really like this 3-wood, we don't get the lefts. The lefts really aren't in play with this thing. Last up in this test, new addition to the bag here, LTDX LS. It's a 9-degree head, turned down to 8-degree with a Ventus Black 7X. Again, if you haven't watched the What's in the Bag, it's up there, so check it out. I think finding a tee that's the right height for me is gonna be the key. You get high tees, that's how that stuff happens. I can't take ownership for that, but that's how that happens. Gotta remember not to overswing. It's not how far I can hit it. This is all stock. Stock numbers, stock swings. Don't need to kill it. I mean, this is a perfect example of efficiency. I feel like I swung smoother, foot stayed on the ground, and it's one of my longest balls. So swinging hard doesn't mean further. It's all about efficiency. Definitely something to think about. Where'd that tee go? That was a perfect tee. Oh, it was fun while it lasted. There's more. I guess you gotta expect, if you've got Twitch's dirt bike, a Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, you at least will find a tee that matches the one you're looking for. Well, that was fun. A little gapping session with Foresight here at Cactus Hat Country Club. Big thank you. Look at this place. It's awesome. So big thank you for allowing me to come out here, get some work in, get my numbers. It's a fun process. I definitely recommend doing that. You need to know how far each club goes. I am so sweaty. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's dripping down my face. It's a fun process to know how far each club goes. I'm gonna print that out. I'm gonna keep it with me. I'm gonna have all those numbers. Again, that's gonna be carry data here in Arizona, so given the altitude that we're in, and go from there. Obviously, if it's firmer greens, you're gonna have to play that carry number and allow for a little more roll than if you're playing soft greens. And if you travel outside of Arizona to somewhere like the East Coast where you're not at elevation, you're gonna have to take that into account. So, fun process. I think we're one step closer to playing some better golf. Tournament's right around the corner, about 29 days away. So stay tuned, we're gonna have some fun.